Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side. The man who rules the world takes on an agent from the CIA from the Black Boule in this all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. One of my viewers wanted to know my thoughts on comic book character Amanda Waller. Now, in the DC universe, Amanda Waller is the head of Task Force X and is the official leader of this group of characters known as the Suicide Squad. Now, the Suicide Squad are a group of villains who are recruited by Amanda Waller to go on suicide missions for the government. And as they go on these suicide missions, they are injected with a device that if they go out of her orders, they can wind up losing their lives as related to her pressing the button, or they could wind up losing their lives going on this very dangerous mission. Now, Amanda Waller is known for being very harsh, abrasive, and extremely aggressive as related to not only dictating the actions of Task Force X or the Suicide Squad, but she's also known for being harsh and aggressive towards other characters in the DC universe, including DC superheroes. And she's been known for being this in the comic books that she came from the days of DC's Legends story, where she made, I believe, her first appearance in that mini-series that kicked off the relaunch of the Justice League. And she's also been known for being harsh in adaptations from television, such as Justice League Unlimited, where she was a part of the Cadmus arc. And she's also been known for being a harsh, abrasive, and aggressive in the DC Extended Universe in films like The Suicide Squad. Now, the Amanda Waller character is supposed to be this, again, very harsh and abrasive person who is known for being very hard on everyone. However, when I look at the Amanda Waller character, I don't really see her as this, again, multidimensional character. No, I basically see her as a repackaging of an old stereotype as related to black women. When it comes to Amanda Waller, she's supposed to be, again, passively presented as this rich, complex presentation of a black woman, but aggressively what Warner Brothers creators were trying to do with the character was repackage old stereotypes of the Mammy and the Sapphire as related to the creation of this character. Now, when I look at Amanda Waller, I don't really see this strong black woman, which is what people are trying to present her as this tough, abrasive woman who can compete in the world of men. No, I basically see her as this effort to go out here and present us with the masculinization of a black woman as related to her personality and the asexualization of a black woman in an effort to make this character someone that people can see. I mean, when I look at the visuals for Amanda Waller, they want to present us with this image of this masculine, aggressive black woman who is obese and presented as very unattractive on the outside and further unattractive on the inside as related to her character. And this is all designed to make the character extremely undesirable for most readers as related to seeing black women, because when it comes down to the image of black women in mainstream media, no one wants to go out here and put up an image of an attractive black woman going out here and being the image of the ideal of desirability. And with Amanda Waller, what they want to do is present us with the image of the most unattractive and most undesirable black woman and make her into someone who would be seen as an adversary not only to the DC superheroes, but also be seen as an adversary to DC's supervillains and make those villains look better in comparison to Amanda Waller. That's what they want to really do with the character that I find to be somewhat racist as related to her depiction. They don't really want to show Amanda Waller being a human being with any sort of human traits that make her relatable or make her compassionate whatsoever. No, what they want to do with Amanda Waller is make her someone that you can express nothing but contempt for, because what they want you to do with black women is not see a black woman in a humanized light the way they would possibly want to do with a character like a Vixen or a Bumblebee or other black female characters. No, they want to make Amanda Waller the least attractive black woman as related to the DC universe, the least desirable black woman in the DC universe, one that you could basically express contempt for, and they want to make her so contemptible that even DC's most reprehensible super villains look more appealing in comparison to her. That's what they want to do with this Amanda Waller character as related to her whole design. Her whole design is designed to make her the least appealing person in the room, even less appealing than a homicidal psychopath like the Joker, or a ruthless businessman like Lex Luthor, or a despot like Black Adam. I mean, in comparison to all of those white villains, Amanda Waller is the least appealing person that anybody could see in comics, and that was basically shown in a recent storyline that centered on Amanda Waller, where she basically looked to imprison all of DC's superheroes. I mean, even the villains had nothing but contempt for her. And passively, again, this is done to go out here and present you with the idea of presenting you as Amanda Waller as a villain, but it's aggressively designed to demonize the image of black women, demonize the image of a black woman, and take away her humanity. That's what they want to do with the Amanda Waller character, make her the most contemptible human being in the entire DC universe, and that is something that they want to do by design. Now, this Amanda Waller character is supposed to be, again, a neutral character. I find that also to be very interesting. You have the black woman being presented as neutral, but when I look at this character, she is an ideal and a representation of the black woman in white supremacy and her role in white supremacy. This black woman who they designed to be this big, obese, asexualized mammy, who is designed to go out here and be that enforcer of the unwritten and written social policies of white supremacy, that enforcer who goes out here and does the dirty work so that the white supremacists can look like their hands are clean. That is what I see Amanda Waller being a representation of whenever I look at her character and I look at the stories that she's involved in. Whenever I look at stories like the Task Force X that was a part of the DC Legends miniseries, I mean, she's basically the woman who goes out here and does the dirty work for the government and is the one who gleefully does the dirty work for the government, being that mammy who's, again, subservient to white society, and then being that Sapphire who is cruel and emasculating to all of those ruthless villains by being even more ruthless than they are. And she's the one who enforces those policies to the point where she can even go out here and intimidate and possibly emasculate even DC's toughest characters like Superman and Batman. And again, by design, because when it comes down to white supremacy, this is the role that they have for the women who they consider to be the mammies and the sapphires. Their job is to go out here and be the enforcers for white supremacy, and basically that's what Amanda Waller is in the DC universe. She's the enforcer. She's the enforcer for the government in the DC universe, she enforces the written and unwritten social rules as related to the policies of the DC universe, and that's basically like a metaphor for how they basically see the black woman. The way they see the black woman is that as in this role of enforcer, and that's what is exaggerated here with Amanda Waller, is this exaggeration of this role as DC's enforcer of these unwritten and written social rules for people. Again, that's what the black woman's job is to do at many corporate jobs, and that's basically where I see a lot of the things with Amanda Waller. She's the person who is representing that ideal as related to being that enforcer who goes out here and makes sure that everybody is in line and everybody is basically scared of her and scared of crossing her. That's the kind of black women that we see that basically controlled life in the black community, making sure that black men and black women conformed to the standards of white society. And that's what Amanda Waller was a representation of to me as related to her character. When I look at the Amanda Waller character, she's basically one of these black women who is like one of those black female bootlicks, at the job, who, again, I repeat it once more, is out here looking to enforce the written and unwritten social rules of the white bosses at the top to make their hands clean. And as she does out here and soils her hands, the white bosses can look clean in comparison, and they can go out here and play the good cop to Amanda Waller's bad cop, and they can go out here and make it look like they're standing for the ideals of truth and justice when they're standing for the standard of white supremacy. That was the role of the mammy in the slave plantation, and it's the same role that she has to be that enforcer that makes Massa look good. And that's what Amanda Waller basically is. Again, she want to make Massa look good, make guys like Lex Luthor in the Cadmus Project basically look like he's looking to be this philanthropist and clean as related to his clean hands, but his hands are just as dirty as Amanda's, and that's what he was doing in the Cadmus arc. I mean, Lex Luthor basically, like a white man, wanted to be a god, but they wanted to have a way to not make Lex Luthor look like just a complete reprehensible and evil monster. So they come in with Amanda Waller and her and Cadmus, and again, makes those DC villains look just like, oh, they're just bad guys again, and they're taking on the heroes, but don't make those villains look like complete monsters. I mean, even when you have the Joker, again, the Joker is a homicidal psychopath, and compared to Amanda Waller, he basically doesn't look as evil as Amanda Waller, even though this white man is the personification of evil. They go out here and use the black woman's image and demonize the black woman's image and make her look like the ultimate evil, even more evil than Darkseid. Darkseid, who comes from another planet, is not even as evil as Amanda Waller as presented, and Darkseid is the ultimate personification of evil, just like the Joker. I mean, the Darkseid is like only one level above Lucifer, the devil himself, but as related to their image, Amanda Waller, the black woman, is presented as, again, that ideal of evil as related to black people. And when I look at this black woman, again, I see all of the things that I've seen as related to the evil black woman in corporate America, the evil black woman who's a part of society. That's what I see with Amanda Waller. I mean, this woman, again, has no ethics, no moral compass, no sense of values, and will basically do whatever it takes to get whatever her masters need accomplished. And that's the whole sad part about Amanda Waller, is she has no mission of herself except serving the white government and, again, white society. She's basically, again, looking to submit herself to white supremacy and represents all of those ideals as related to that black mammy who basically will do anything for her masters, do anything to please her masters, never once ever considering doing anything as related to morals and ethics. No, this woman has no sense of God, no sense of love, no sense of anything, is completely ruthless. I mean, basically, again, this character, as she's presented in her prime, was again just the ultimate form of evil, and no semblance of humanity, no semblance of care for another human being, only just going out here doing their master's work. No different than many of Darkseid's elite, no different than many of Darkseid's elite. That's what I see with the Amanda Waller character, and sadly, that's what makes the character very compelling to a lot of people, is just what she will just do anything for her white masters, and will do anything for those white masters in the government. That's what makes her a compelling character, because she's a comic book representation of what white supremacy has as their enforcer. I mean, that's basically what Amanda Waller is when I'm looking at this character. I mean, this character, a lot of people want to say that she's complex, but the only thing is that she's relatable, as I see it, to the modern black woman who's been indoctrinated. Even before feminism, she's basically been indoctrinated into the whole culture of slavery. And a lot of people look at her and it's just like, again, the character is designed, again, to passively represent black women, but aggressively represents the worst about black women, and represents the worst about black women in society. I mean, that's what I see with the Amanda Waller character. She has no care, no compassion, no love. Again, completely ruthless. And that's what sadly makes her one of the most tragic villains in the DC universe, and makes her a character that is, again, the worst of representing the worst ideals about black women, representing the worst ideals about black women. And that's why many people like to put her in adaptations, because they want this ideal to be presented as regarded to the image of black women. They want her to be that representation and ideal of black women, an ideal and representation of black women that doesn't show us a positive picture of black women, because we really don't get many images of representation of black women in comics. I mean, at DC, we basically only possibly maybe get 2, maybe 3. I mean, I can only remember Bumblebee in the Teen Titans. I can remember Vixen from the Justice League, and I think there's a couple of other black women, but they don't really, and maybe Rocket from Icon, but again, there's really not a lot of positive presentations of black women. But I find it sad that she's one of the more popular characters in the DC universe, but the other black women like Rocket and Vixen and Bumblebee, they get next to no play in the DC universe, and it really saddens me that they don't get presented. I mean, I also forgot Nubia. Again, all those characters basically are fifth wheels, but this stereotype character basically is seen as prominent. I mean, I find it sad that we don't get to see, again, those other depictions of black women, again, presenting us with a balanced picture of black women. That's what I try to do over here at SJS Direct. I mean, over here with Isis and Esteem, I try to, again, give some depth and multidimensionality to black women, because I see characters like Amanda Waller, and again, they present with representations of black women being rare. We really don't get to see that balanced picture of black women, to see a black woman as attractive or desirable in comics. But what I wanted to do with Isis and Esteem and other characters I've done, like Lilith Graves and Matilda Crowley, is show, again, a little bit more multidimensionality and more depth, to show, the humanity of black women. And it's hard to see any humanity in Amanda Waller, because the character it's all about the dehumanization of black women. And because she's about the dehumanization of black women, we never get to see any sort of humanity as related to this character. And that's what makes this character, again, one of the worst bad guys in the DC universe, but as I also see it, one of the worst creations at DC, because we rarely get any opportunities to see an image of black women, And sadly, with Amanda Waller, we get to see the worst stereotypes about black women presented in a comic book character. Now, this was a video requested by one of my viewers, and if you want to request a video, you can send a donation for a minimum of $15 to the PayPal or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if I know something about that subject, I'll make that video for you. And if you want to check out my presentations as related to the image of black women, you can, in characters like Isis, Esteem, Matilda Crowley, and Lilith Graves, and many others, you can check out those stories that present a positive image of attractive black women in books like the Isis series, books like the Esteem series, books like the Spinsterella series, books like The Thetas, and my vampire novel Eternal Night, and A Recipe for Success. And you can check out those stories featuring black women on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to check out how I present black women in comic books, you can check out my comic Esteem No Good Deed on Kindle for just 99 cents and see a balanced picture of a black heroine in a story. And you can also check out my comic John Haynes at Death's Door, which features balanced depictions of black women in this John Haynes story where he takes on the Greek god of death. And you can find that comic on Lulu.com in paperback right now and get it for the same price as it was on the 2022 Kickstarter. And that's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Esteem Season of the Witch Girl. The aspiring angel takes on a wicked teenage witch in this action-packed, all-new Esteem series adventure. Pick up your copy of Esteem Season of the Witch Girl in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers today. Coming to paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer. Take a trip into the macabre world of goth modeling in the new millennium in this all-new Spinsterella story. Pre-order your copy of Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer at Amazon.com and other online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.